going to be kind of a simple list of what you're going to need if you want to start ice fishing. It's an awesome sport to get into. You can get into it as cheap or as expensive if you want to, for as little as $50 on up to hundreds of thousands of dollars, in all honesty. Alright, I'm going to help you come up with kind of a little list if you're trying to get into ice fishing. It's a really fun sport. You can do it during the winter time. A lot of people have things to do. It kind of gets you out of the house. It's great for kids. Highly recommend it. I take mine all the time. They love it. They always ask to go. When you get into it, you can spend as little or as much as you want on ice fishing gear. You can spend from $50 or $60 all the way up to thousands of dollars, kind of depending on what you want to do and your style. So the first thing, obviously, you're going to need is some way to get through the ice. You can use an axe, which I've done. You can use, they're called spud bars. You can use crowbars. Pretty much anything you want to use that's hard enough to break through the ice, you can use. But the thing that most people go with is an auger. You're going to want to get a quality one. If you're thinking about getting into the sport, I would highly recommend getting on the local classifieds on your YouTube. Kind of scour the internet, your classifieds all over, looking for a used one. A lot of people get into the sport, only spend 1 or 2 seasons, and they get back out and sell all their equipment. So you can go cheap. I went cheap with my very first auger and regretted it. I sold it after 2 times out. It definitely was not worth it. I would try and find something from brand new, from the $60 to $200 range. But you don't have to buy brand new. I would just look online and see what costs that much and kind of go that route. This one is a StrikeMaster Mora. This one's a hand auger. You can attach a drill to it if you want to. There's a lot of YouTube videos out there. I'll probably post them later of how to do that. Then you can buy gas augers. You can buy battery-powered augers. Lots of different things. So that's what you're going to want first of all. Next thing you're obviously going to need is a fishing pole. You're going to want something that's short. You don't want a normal full-size fishing pole. I've used them. They're alright, but these are a lot better to set up. You can spend a lot of money on these two on Amazon. You can get them for $20. I know guys that spend $400 on them, so it just depends on up to you. I would put a barber pin in mine just so I can see it kind of bounce in the wind. They make strike indicators that I have as well. So those are the 2 main things you're going to need. After that, you're going to want to get fishing lures, kind of depending on what you're going after. So these are normal just jigs. They're pretty small. I don't know if you can see that. It's a pretty small jig. I got lots of different colors because depending on what kind of fishery you're going after or what they're hitting that day is going to dictate what kind of colors you want on your jigs. You also have big jigs for bigger fish. You have some little plastics like this for fishing. And you can also use little actual fish for fishing. Depending on what you're targeting, what you're after. Like I said, so you're going to want to kind of research what you're going for. I would invest in multiple colors and quite a few different kinds, shapes, different days, fish are hitting different things. So those are the 3 main components that you're going to need, want to need. Everything else that I'm going to kind of show you here is a luxury that over time, whether you like the sport, you can add on, or whether you dislike the sport, if you're only into it this, you're into it. If you get a cheaper one, $20. You get a used one, you're into it $30, so $50, and then $5 in lures. So you're into it $55, give or take. It's pretty easy to, like I said, you can get out of that pretty easy. Other things you're going to want at some point probably are a fish finder. They're not all this big. Mine's specially made this box, so I can put a bigger battery in there so my fish finder would run longer. Highly recommended. Other things I have in my pack all the time are cleats, ice cleats. I very rarely use them because most of the time there's snow on the lakes where I'm walking, so I'm not slipping. But every now and then there's ice-covered lakes that are sheer ice, and these make a world of difference. I always take my ice picks. You can buy them pretty cheap as well. I especially wear these on first ice. If it's later in the season, I know the ice is 10 inches or more, I might not wear them. If I have my kids with me, they always go on my neck so that I can get in and out of the ice. So what these are is that you can't see any spike, but when you push down on the ice, the spikes stick out so you can get back out. You just wear them around your neck like this. They do make flotation suits, which is, I got one over here that I wear bibs. I wear those ones all the time, no matter if my kids are with me or not. If I'm by myself, I wear my jacket because it's super warm. I always have extra line in my pack as well. You never know when you're going to break your line, so I always have extra line in my little pack. And then I always carry hand warmers because there's nothing worse than getting cold on the ice. These are pretty cheap. I always have them for when my kids are with me, especially. Before I even get there, I take and I break them open and then hand them. That way they're warming up as we're driving to the lake. If it's just me, then I will get there, I'll get everything set up, and then I will take and break them open. That way, by the time my hands or feet are cold, that they're warmed up. Other things that you're going to want to probably invest in once you start getting more things is a sled. If you're just doing your auger, your fishing pole, and your tackle, you might not need a sled, or you can buy a little kid sled and pull it. As you get more and more stuff, you're going to want to get a bigger sled. I bought the medium-sized jet sled. I wish I would have gone with the next size bigger. Like I said, my kids go with me a lot, so I take a lot of stuff with me, food and water. Chairs. Chairs are a big thing you're going to want. You're probably going to want to get some kind of a backpack or fanny pack just to keep your gear organized. I always carry pliers with me of some kind. I usually like to take my Leatherman, that way I have pliers and a knife in case I need it. So these are just some of the basics of it. If you have any questions of where to go, how to start out, other places to look for fishing stuff that I like, stuff that other people might like that I fish with, go ahead and give me a shout. Leave a comment, and I can try and answer as many questions I want. These are the basic things you're going to need for ice fishing. These 3 things and everything else is just add-ons, so don't let anybody else talk you into saying you need this, you need that, you need this. Just the 3 things if you want to start out, see if you even like it. Thanks.